Hello and welcome to another video with Gamers Class, guys. Shizzy Dota here, and today we're going to be talking about hero picking and counter picking in your pubs. This is a game that I played myself in Southeast Asia, and I will give you some insight about how the hero picking went down for us and how the enemy team was also picking, right? Let's try to get into their heads, and I will try to get you guys into my team's head, how we were thinking in the draft phase. Alright, and you guys can use this in your pubs as well to win more MMR or just have better games.
If you like this type of content, go to gamersclass.com. For just $5 a month, get your replays analyzed, join monthly live sessions with pro players, get access to our entire content library, win prizes, and more with our supreme Dota 2 membership.
So before we start, I want you guys to know a team requires a lot of things in Dota. You need tank, you need sustain, you need damage, you need a hero that is going to buy auras. You are going to need the hero that will do a lot of damage, a hero that will do pushing. There's a lot of things that a team needs, and you have to think about all of these things. And while you're picking, you need to figure out, okay, what does my team lack over here, and what does my team really need? Okay, and this is what we're going to be talking about more into this as this replay goes on, and let's get into it. So the first phase is mostly like you mostly want to pick something that you can play best on support, and it should be the support. So let's say if you get countered on support, your team will not be affected as much, right? So let's say you pick a line position 4 or 5, and the enemy counter picks it by picking something like, I don't know, an oracle or whatever. If they counter pick your line, or let's say the witch doctor has been picked here and they try to counter it somehow, it's not going to affect our team as much because it's going to be the carries and the cores that are going to really carry the game. So if you're a support player, try to first pick or second pick your heroes. Let your cores get the picks for later on so they can get a better matchup in the laning stage. And as you can see, this guy just first picks witch doctor, this guy just first picks Tiny. This guy just second picks Pango. Now I want to talk about these picks here, okay? So right now Tiny has been picked, Treant has been picked, Centaur has been picked, Witch Doctor has been picked, and Pango has been picked. So right now, what can we read about the enemy team? We can read that the Tiny is definitely going to be a position 4. Why? Because they've already picked a Centaur. Now Centaur can only go into one lane in most situations. Centaur is always going to be a position 3 hero. This hero does not scale good at the mid. Sometimes it can work out on the safe lane, but mostly it is a hero that will be on the off lane. Alright, so now we can already figure out that this Tiny is position 4 and the Treant is going to be position 5. What can they look at our draft? They already know the Witch Doctor is either going to be position 5 or 4. It's mostly a position 5 hero, so I'm pretty sure they've assumed that the Witch Doctor is 5 and the Pango is either a 3 or 4 hero. Now if you look at it, we are on an advantage. Why? Because they can't figure out if this Pango is a 3 or a 4 or even a mid. That's why picks like Pango, Puck, White Spirit, even Tiny, these picks are pretty good because the enemy won't really figure out where your hero is gonna go. In this case though, the Centaur, after the Centaur has been picked, we can figure out where the Tiny is going. He's going to be on position 4, so the Centaur pick isn't that good. You don't want to really pick heroes that only go into one lane if you really want to play the lane smartly, and this is exactly what the Pango does. This gives us a drafting advantage right here. So our third pick is going to be the Snapfire. So if you look at our draft right now, we have a lot of stuns, okay? We have a disarm from the Pango. We have major stuns. What do we lack right now? We don't have tanks. The Pango is going to buy some auras. This guy's going to give us some sustain from his healing. He's also going to give us some damage. This guy's also going to give us some damage and the stun. So right now the Snapfire is giving us stun, Witch Doctor is giving us stun and sustain, Pango is giving us some damage, stun, auras. But what do we lack? We lack a tank. All right, and now let's have a look at the enemy side. They also have a lot of stun coming out from the Tiny. They're also getting a lot of damage. The Treant will provide them with sustain and some lockdown and some DPS. The Centaur is going to provide them with a stun and a tank. but he will not provide them with as many auras as they would like, because the Centaur likes to buy a dagger. Yeah, he can buy a pipe later on, he can buy a crimson, but he will most likely just rush a dagger, right? Like probably buy a hood into a dagger or a pipe into dagger or something. So he's not going to buy as many auras as the Pango would for us, right? So right now I would say they're leading on the tank part. They have better tank, but we have a better aura team. We have more auras and we have more stuns, right? So let's look at the fourth pick and the fifth pick. These picks are going to be the main picks. If you look at both teams right now, 2 supports and offlanes have been picked. 2 supports and offlane has also been picked here, and that's how the pick should go out. Now it's going to be the carries who should be picking, and the mid lane should always, or in most situations, get the last pick. So here's the thing where Radiant actually mess up here. They pick Storm, they don't give their mid laner last pick. Now we have the advantage here. Our mid laner can just counter pick this guy and just run this guy down. Right now the reason why Dire actually picks Void, I basically pick Void here, is because we need some kind of direct lockdown. These guys are gonna have Stampede and they're gonna run away from us, and we need some direct lockdown. The Snapfire does not provide a lot of direct lockdown. Yeah, the cookie does stun and some damage, but it's not direct lockdown, and it's gonna be really hard to hit on them when they're in Stampede. Same case for the Pango roll, and same case for the Witch Doctor stun as well. So we need a direct lockdown. Also, I've also made a combo with my team right here. Every time I'm gonna use the Chrono with the Void, my team is gonna use the Snapfire Mortimer Kisses or the Witch Doctor Death Ward and a stun in my Chrono. So the white pick over here is a great combo for us, right? I'm actually enabling my 2 supports with my pick, and overall it's not even a bad white game. Why? Because they have these heroes that like to spam spells constantly. Like a Tiny has like 12-second cooldown on both his spells, I believe, and he's gonna spam these spells constantly. Same case for Centaur, he's gonna spam stuns and double edge. Same case for the Treant and the Storm as well. So the time dilation is actually gonna mess them up, apart from the Chrono and just Void complementing our team entirely. Now let's have a look at
10 seconds remaining.
the 5th pick. As I already mentioned, the Radiant messed up. So this guy just picks Necro here. And why is Necro such a good pick here? One, can actually run down on the Storm Spirit at mid. Alright, I think it's an even matchup though. Like, it's not the best pick to counter a Storm, right? But here's the thing. As we mentioned earlier on, what do we lack here? We lacked a tank hero. The Pango is going to give us auras, but he's not going to be as tanky as the Centaur or even the Treant Protector. You know, we don't have that many sustain in our team, and that's the reason why he picks Necro. One, they have a lot of strength heroes. They have 3 strength heroes. 2, we needed a tank. All right, so with his pick, he gives us both the things that we actually need. We have lockdown, we have auras, we have damage, we have stuns, we have catch, we have a pusher. All we needed was a tank, and that's exactly what he picks. Right now, this guy is forced to pick Riki because now he has to play around the Storm, right? Because if the Storm gets countered or he gets run down, they're not gonna really win this game, and that's why this guy has to pick Riki on the last pick. He can't really counter us. Like, Riki is not the best pick here, right? We have a lot of stuns for him, we have a lot of catch for him. He's forced to pick Riki into a Faceless Void just because the Storm wants to play a snowball game, and that's where they actually mess up. So if you're a mid laner, try to save the last pick for mid, or at least ask your team for it. I believe the last pick should always be for mid, because mid is gonna set the tempo of the game. So overall, if we're gonna like talk about the overall draft, they have damage from the Riki. The Riki is gonna be a nuisance. They have a lot of catch from the Storm. They have some damage. They have some tank. They don't have that many aura buyers. More or less, their entire lineup is based on snowballing. Our lineup has way more potential. Why? Because we have tank, we have damage, we have stuns, we have lockdown, we have this Void who will be a nuisance with the time walk, we have a Pango who's also going to be a nuisance around the map, and overall our lineup is just much better, and we actually end up winning this game as well. So I think that's pretty much all about picking and counter picking, guys. Thanks for watching.